Before she met Justin, Selena Gomez was every mother's ideal child. Recently, Justin Bieber's drug repertoire has grown to include Selena, his wholesome girlfriend, as a user. Yes, she smoked some marijuana and took Ambien. She also consumed some alcohol. But Justin Bieber is the actual issue, and drove her one and only family away. Mom wants her daughter, Selena, should avoid being around Justin. She had no desire to interact with me. As her manager, Selena dismissed her mother. I constantly strive to act morally. I held my mother responsible. She is my kid, and the most essential thing is family. Yes, it's a lifeline, you know. When Justin left Selena for Haley, Selena's mother's worst worries were realized. There's not the worst sensation on earth. I was hurting. It's excessive. Selena is currently on leave from her struggles with depression, anxiety, and panic attacks. Was there, however, more to it than people realized? She was experiencing a psychotic episode due to the voices she was hearing. When you look into her eyes, nothing is there. Instead, it was completely dark. Because of how terrible it was, they had to check her into a mental health facility. I thought she was going to pass away. Selena Gomez has been in terrible shape for the past few weeks. She had to visit the hospital since things were so awful, and many individuals informed us that she was quite frightened. Had a mental collapse. She desired to go. She was attempting to remove her IVs. She had turned into a really challenging employee. And as a result, she is currently in a mental health facility. Indeed. That being said, this is really serious. In the situation she was in at the mental institution, no one would see what I witnessed. Have even the slightest idea who she is. TMZ informed us about her mental collapse. They contacted me to inquire about my daughter's whereabouts when she was hospitalized due to a mental breakdown. I was afraid she was going to pass away, and she didn't want to be around me. Selena and her mother were there before everything collapsed in their lives. Unbreakable. I believe Selena entered the world at the ideal moment since I was truly at a loss for myself. I felt like, oh, I have someone who I'm responsible for when I found out I was pregnant. Raised by her single mother, Mandy, Selena was aware of the differences in her life from other children's. Selena stated to Elle magazine that when she was younger, she was still in school and finally applied for every job imaginable. This is what we're going through, but I'm not going to give up, she declared. I will not give up. As I was attempting to get dressed while sitting in front of a mirror, I suddenly started weeping and I was in tears. She approached me from behind, looking rather youthful, and she immediately began to play with my hair before asking, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I just don't know what I'm doing. What I'm doing." "You'll figure it out," she says. Simply continue. Selena's mother and she both loved performing. However, Selena decided to approach things differently after witnessing her mother's struggles as a theatrical performer. She was a theatrical enthusiast. And finally, I came to enjoy the notion of wanting to perform and act. However, I informed my mother at the age of 7 because, for whatever reason, I was adamant that I would be on TV rather than the stage. Thus, one day, she says, "I want to go to that open call," after seeing a Barney commercial on TV. And I said, "Just remember that that's the day of your birthday celebration." After that, we left. I was 7 years old when I went on my first audition, and I was cast in my first role. When Selena began performing, things began to improve in life. After then, I didn't stop. I simply continued. After moving to Los Angeles at the age of 11, all I wanted to do was work. I cherished my work. My motivation comes from my connection with my work and my career. Selena's Disney career brought her rapid stardom thanks to her mother at her side. You've been successful in all of those mediums, with what you've done thus far: film, television, and music. My mother was the one in my life who helped me go through the most of it when I started working. When it comes to job guidance, my mother has given me the greatest counsel ever. When it concerns my private life, she is there for me at all times. However, Selena's mother was unable to ready her for the other side of celebrity. When did you suppose the photographers were interested in you? When did you sense it occurring? When I was 15, my family and I went to the beach, and I was 15 in a bikini. And there appeared to be 7 males. And then my day was pretty much wrecked. I become anxious about it. They seem to be kind of blocking me in every direction as I'm attempting to drive. I simply attempt to keep my head down after that, but they just start being unpleasant and saying stuff. And to be honest, I'm not that into it. I didn't want to make headlines. After this change, a lot more individuals began to use my personal life. And Selena's relationship with Justin Bieber, the most well-known young artist in the world, put her under even more scrutiny. It is challenging because of what you do. Act. You want to stay home alone, simply hiding, and just sit there? When we first started dating, I was 18, and it was like, you just have to be 18 and go through everything. Everyone is aware of Selena and Justin Bieber's intermittent relationship. After spending some time together, they've had several breakups and reconciliations. Selena pushed her mother away rather than asking for help. Because I was pretty cruel when I did some of the things that I recall doing. As her manager, Selena Gomez dismissed her mother. According to TMZ, Selena's split with her parents occurred because her management. The outcome of disagreements about her connection with Justin Bieber and the course of her career. According to rumors, Selena Gomez's mother, Mandy, is not happy that Justin Bieber has returned to her daughter's life since they began spending time together. Are they together, she and Bieber? You would be aware. Prior to my doing. I know we don't discuss it, but I don't. Not at all? Yes. Amidst the turmoil, Selena and her mother unfollowed one other on Instagram. Additionally, in mid-January, Mandy posted on Facebook, stating, "I'm a danger to the people who are trying to take advantage of her, because she knows she can rely on me, and I cherish her." Is it strange that you've been featured in every headline? Everybody out here is a human being, and they have the power to exacerbate the situation. It had finally surfaced. Selena had been harboring a hidden grudge against her mother for years. When I was 5 years old, my parents divorced. It was complicated just because to my lack of understanding of the situation. To be really honest, I guess I was just wanting a family and I blamed my mom. "Hello, Daddy." I felt like the most beautiful little girl when I was with him, as if no one was worthy and I could do anything. I so much miss him. It was rather difficult for me to embrace my stepfather. Their distance grew as a result of Selena's inability to recognize her mother's attempts to assist her. I'm really stressed out about it. It's hard to be a good parent, much alone, a good mom. And then you introduce the famous lifestyle in Los Angeles. It becomes severely warped. I make it a point to do the right thing, but occasionally I feel like I strive too hard and end up doing the wrong thing. Selena battled to cope with the continuous criticism from the media when she was alone and alone. Yes, she used marijuana, drank alcohol, and took Ambien. There were tales that broke me down to the level of my face, body, and my characteristics and decisions. Telling tales was something I've made, and it drove me insane. Justin and Selena have broken up yet another time. You're by yourself. You're being observed and evaluated. Nothing in the world feels worse than this. Selena gave her everything to her career, but she didn't feel like herself when she performed in front of millions of people. Thus, a voice tells me, "You missed this, that sucked, and it enters my consciousness. You see a little bit of yourself on the screen, huh? Oh, it looks like a really bad idea. I don't want to perform since it drains me completely. It's simply so much pressure because I want to exert all of my effort." The media's announcement that Justin had moved on with Hailey Baldwin was, however, the final straw for Selena. My life stopped being about me because it was so stressful. It turned into a global issue. I'm sure it's all amusement for others, but it all seems very genuine to me. It would be foolish of me to deny how I had felt, but I had become numb to it. There are moments when I wake up and don't really feel like I can do it. We needed to talk to her about what was going on in a very serious way. She also said something similar in response. "I wish you could experience what it's like to be inside my thoughts." All I can recall is that she was hearing these voices, and everything was really crazy. They simply continued to increase in volume. "That set off a psychotic episode of some kind," she said. "I don't want to live," at one point. And I think, what? Wait? And it was one of those times when you could hardly see her eye, because it was so dark. And it's very awful. I was having mental and emotional problems, and couldn't maintain my composure. Now that she's on leave, Selena is battling melancholy, anxiety, and panic attacks. Rumors circulated that she had a drug issue, allowing partying and the glamorous lifestyle to overtake her and her profession. Selena Gomez has been in terrible shape for the past few weeks. She was attempting to remove her IVs. As a result, she is currently at a mental health facility. Her mental collapse was disclosed to us through TMZ. They contacted me to inquire about my daughter's whereabouts when she was hospitalized due to a mental breakdown. I was afraid she was about to pass away, but she didn't want to be around me. The toughest thing to do is to attempt to support them with their therapy while holding on as tightly as you can, rather than just going to bed and hoping to wake up the next day. When Selena eventually found out in the hospital, it was horrifying, but also kind of consoling. I was informed that my condition is bipolar. I believed my life was ended. I thought, this is how I'm going to be eternal. However, I no longer wanted to be confined to my thoughts and myself, and there was someone who understood Selena's situation. In my early 20s, I received a bipolar diagnosis. I researched bipolarity to better understand it, and then attempted to reframe how I should accept the diagnosis and improve myself. I tell people that I have the best family and friends, especially my mom and my stepdad Brian, for this reason. I shouldn't have treated them the way I occasionally did, and shouldn't have talked to them the way I did. They also realized that wasn't me. It has been so, almost. I still say thank you. I'm sorry. And I apologize for everything I do. And they're continuously saying things like, "We're so happy that we can see that we would never, ever give up on you." And once we found out everything, it made so much sense, Selena included. Furthermore, they haven't. Selena's loved ones were there for her, but she needed to put in the effort to get well. Upon my release, I was uncertain about how I would handle receiving my diagnosis. What if it took place once more? What would happen if I disappeared the next time? I had to continue studying about it. I have to accept things day by day. When I was a resident of Texas, we were enormous with the tornado picture, and I felt really scared. My mother would simply smile at me, and the next day, I seem to recall, she gave me a number of books about thunderstorms, various cloud patterns, and other related topics. And she told me right away, saying, "It's not really frightening. Indeed, it's particularly so when you realize that it's only a little portion of the planet. I cherish you." I feel like that is the beginning of self-help. Isn't what matters what you do with the strength? It's how you use it in your daily life. I was afraid of a lot of things in this existence, and I believe it's because I had anxiety as a child. I had the feeling that I had to give it my all and be the finest version of myself. And my mother has always been the person that accepted me for who I am and never passed judgment on me. Cherished me throughout it. I am exactly who I was intended to be. And I didn't collapse when I was freed from a voice that was in my life. I did, in fact, get up. Selena and her mother had never been closer since she discovered who she was. I was raising her the way I wanted to be raised. Back when I was younger. It was not sustaining our connection. We so needed to retrain our communication skills. And ever since we made the effort, it has been incredible. It's been a pleasure to be her friend, despite the ups and downs she's had as she's grown into a fantastic adult. Mom. Nothing could now stop Selena from utilizing her voice to aid others. More than ever, Selena Gomez is talking about her mental health. Selena Gomez discloses that she has bipolar disorder and has battled it for years. Selena now hopes to transform her struggles with mental health into something lovely. Joining forces with her. Mandy, my own mother. They are establishing Wondermind, a multimedia enterprise, together. Each of the three has had personal struggles related to mental health and is working to dispel the stigma by offering free tools to members. Selena now commits her life to bringing attention to and helping anyone who might be suffering in silence. I'm currently living a chapter of my life where I'm doing what I love. Hopefully simply keep contributing to the betterment of the globe. This is an extension of that. Yes, my narrative is far from over, and I'm eager to see what will come next. And while there will undoubtedly be challenges along the way and it won't be simple, however, I will learn to coexist with them.